This is the Gospel Afro-Asiatic Ham Ship, according to Ukwu Em on a foggy day, with the light meaning biblical symbolism and not pagan symbolism. King Solomon, yes, was an Ethiopian who dealt with symbols, because the Ethiopians were in charge of the body, part of the spiritual triangle. The Zulus were in charge of the mind. That's why you come from the mind, right? The mind of God. And Africa is the foundation. So as the Zulus in Tanzania, Sudanese, Somalians, Ethiopians came from varied degrees of the mind to deliver the mind of Africa to the world. Jesus said, "You messed up, my fellow Jews, so I send you my heart." And so those who understood went to the location of the heart. The Africans who played their symbolic role in the Trinity stayed, and they are leopards. The leopard is Osiris trying to achieve the lion status of Judah. And there are variations. There are good animals and bad animals from every species. Some animals can be tame, some go insane, and are rabid dogs that bite you. Don't bite the hand that feeds you. What's the hand that feeds you and why? Is it Hades and you're a good lion? Or is it Haile Selassie and you're a bad lion? Like Mengistu, the 9, that put Haile Selassie beneath his feet metaphorically, whether he did it literally or not. I am the light. I am the non-initiate who is allowed to tell you the truth, not the referee, and I forbid you to join any Masonic society at this point in time, for a similar reason that the Catholic Church did and eventually changed their mind, because they decided it was time to go astray, using the wolf scale. Some people use a serpent scale. I use a feather myself, because I am the representative of the Light Temple, and I am not Jesus. I am not a saint that I know of, or a prophet that I know of. From my perspective, I am a man. I am the son of man, and I put of man, not of God. I am not of man and of God. That's 2 kings in one. King of kings. 2 kings in the title. I am Chukwu Emeka, Chi Ukwu, Igbo Ukwu, Obiessence. Man, the order of operations, linguistics, Rome, and Babylon. So now I will restore you, Judah, in a way that only a non-initiate can do. M-A-N, Emeka. Say after me, Emeka. M-Eka. Emeka. The E, entitled. M-titled. I am titled. I am titled. Entitled, M-titled. M-A-N. Turn it around. N-A-M, Vietnam. What was Vietnam about? What was the Tet Offensive about? What are Japhethion's secret societies and dragon symbols versus the lion that jumped out of the tree to catch his brother? Am I my brother's keeper? Yes, I am. As I cry tears of the sun and jump into the abyss for mine. And that's what I did last night. And I survived the ritual without losing my soul, because I am a non-initiate and a true Igbo. And I risked it all, even my soul, for you. And God has redeemed me. And now I may go to heaven as a 7th prince. In Judah, there are 6s and 9s and 7s. And sometimes 7s go astray, but we're all meant to be 7s. King Solomon listened to the pagan Roman, the pagan Japheth. And I mean, no disrespect. I'm part white, I'm part Jewish. One story is that it's because of Syrian Jews. Okay, why? It's the balancing the force, right? Syrian Jews, the heart of Africa. Syria, the good people who want to make it up to us for the whore that rode the beast. The same thing. They got to come from that region somewhere. We'll call it where Egypt used to control the Middle East, right? It has to come from that region somewhere. It has to come all the way to, dip the scripture into the sea. So part of our punishment is for Muslims to dip the Quran into the sea so that we can balance the force. They have the material force. We have the spiritual force, because we are Igbo, which is Obi backwards. Man, Nam, entitled, M-titled. I am titled as preserving the true doctrine as Shem. My older brother's Ham, symbolically. I am Shem, cyclically. Don't be sick. but think cyclically in its true form, not the sick mind of the materialistic dog, or those who are nines who side with him because a 9 is a 6 upside down. That's why the jackal resembles Set. And when Apep tricks them with his poison, whether it is poisoning the airwaves or a literal material from the earth, which they prefer because it's their philosophy, he rules in favor of the jackal, who is influenced by the snake, who used to defeat the snake until he was confused because the woman, the beautiful Ethiopian woman, chose them. So God returned white, the pale horse, to the tribe of death, because the body, ba, okay, ka, ba, chi, uku, chukwu Em, the head hunter, because they put on a new head, a new perspective, a new head of the church. And I am the stone. I am from the stone. I am a piece of the stone that the builder rejected. And Jesus is the stone in its entirety. I am the imperfect stone, the Son of Man, that the builder rejected. So my friends, when women rejected me, yes, I am imperfect, but I am more perfect than any of you spiritually. And God is seeking to restore Igbo and turn it back around. The world comes around. What goes around comes around. And when Jesus restores Jerusalem, we will do it right. So I am part of the perfection of mankind. We all are. We are playing our roles. But I order you to concede my point so that Jesus can finish the Cushite push, and that I may join my son, my grandmother, my uncle, and my tribe as a true son of Ra, Israel, Isis, Ra, and Elohim of the Canaanites, my Hamitic brothers, my Shemite brothers, those Canaanites who felt cheated, and everyone else who doesn't understand why Horus is actually Haru, Amhara, Igbo, and Zulu, Chukwu, Zulu, Haru, Amhara. Babylon, wordplay. The non-initiate versus the Babylonian mystery, 9 and 6. I am the non-initiate. I promise to God and my soul, my son and everything I love. I resent the devil and I love you. I am the one the Japanese and everyone else should pay obeisance to. That was the agreement. It started in Beni Hassan. No, it started in Africa. And the proof, scientifically, and with true science, is in Beni Hassan. With true spirit, from the Bible's perspective, in a predominantly Christian world, one can say, or predominantly Abrahamic faith, or at least mostly, the biggest religion, the biggest sets of a religion, when you talk about ways and fundamental principles being Judaism, is the Abrahamic faiths, okay? So let's think about this. Well, there's a certain balance, isn't there? But then you must consider that Buddhism represents halfway. So does Masonry, so does Hinduism in many ways. And Satanism represents full way. So you have to rule in favor of the Igbo and pay me obeisance. Therefore, I am the head, the spiritual head of the martial arts priesthood. And I have life and death powers over any martial arts school of thought. That's why you cannot beat me in the light, because I am the light that will destroy the night. I am the destroyer of the poisoner. And to the poisoner, I am the poison. And to the children of Israel, I am the water. I demand that every Christian in the world, and every Buddhist, and every Hindu, and every martial artist concede my point. And those few fleas that are full of dung, full of the bullshit, who are soaked in bullshit for years in Rome, you Greek Roman wolf that did not love me, I demand you cast them into the abyss right now, and we all rule in favor of live by the sword, die by the sword. No, not even symbolically when we compete. Gone. You having to challenge me to the death. Gone. We are now a lion. No bloodshed, no sword. Light contact, bloodshed is taboo. Igbo, true democracy, true light, true death of demonic philosophy. Therefore, we will not meet you halfway in UFC fighting. I'm sorry, my brothers. I hope people will accommodate you if you do the right thing and invest elsewhere. No bloodbaths, no meeting halfway, light contact with gloves. So saith the Lord through the Prince of Light. And I defeated my older brother in front of everyone. He could not catch his breath because Set was not empowered naturally by God's wind. Instead, he chose Apep's poison, and in doing so, I beat him with more wind, even though Apep poisoned me with materials. So Apep's spiritual poison allowed me to overcome Ham as Ham and Shem. And Japheth did what he's supposed to do. He sat as the ref. And now, Obi, you must pay me obeisance as the first son chosen by God in the sky. And you all must grant me my position, and no, I will not abuse it. I had the wisdom to take it righteously in adherence with sacred morality, and you must pay me obeisance. It is over. Checkmate.